before we go into funding or after you've gotten funding and you want to make another play, this is basically the credit union play that we want you to look up. Now, there's a couple things that we need to like make sure you understand. Like most credit unions work better if you're local, right? Especially for the bigger plays, because like you want to be able to get access to an ATM, or I mean, can they wire the money between each other, or you gotta like pull out the cash and make it kind of anonymous, right?
Yeah, because if you're showing that you're going from one bank to another, then the money never moves. Basically, well, the way they look at it, it never moved from an institutional state. It's not new money, right?
Yeah.
Because it's moving from one bank to another. When you take out cash, it's kind of anonymous because that cash is now like available to be used as necessary. And then that money, when you go back and you put into the account, a different credit union or a bank, you're now putting in new money. Anytime you deposit money, it's considered new money. But if you're wiring money or transferring money, it's just numbers.
Yeah. And what do you think? So we've put together inside of the PDF, and we're going to build on this. The banks that we highly recommend, and the main reason we recommend most of these is because, well, they give out high limit cards. They've got they're backed. There's nothing too crazy. Like there's some credit unions you kind of want to stay away from because like the whole play is like we go for the big banks first, right? Because the big banks have all the freaking money. All right. The credit unions, though, your little bit of money in these credit unions, though, means more to the credit unions, right? So that's why it's kind of like, hey, we want to show these credit unions we're a big dog playing with like the little banks, right? Which is why the play with the credit unions is, maybe get your first round of funding, or if you already have the money, you're going to open up, what do you think, 3 or 4 of these, is like realistic?
I think 3 is realistic.
3.
Four, if they're in your area, you do as much as you can, but 3 is probably more realistic because you're able to move it, from one bank to another. And it's easier to do 3 than to have to do 4 or more.
For Navy Federal, you do have to be military, or know someone who's military, or live with someone who's military, or get an invite.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing. But
you can be living with someone though, like someone can say you're living with them, and then they can also support you in that sense. If someone's willing to tell you that, hey, I was living under the same roof as even a roommate, for example, they could also be, if they're military, they could also, refer you.
Yeah, exactly. But the rest of these don't. Some of them you do have to like donate some money. So as I go through this list, I'll update them inside of the document. But basically, like let's just so first you just open an account, right? And then do they want to open up a personal and a business, or just trying to open up all the accounts, right? With each of these banks. What do you think is the best?
When you first start off with them, I would just go with the personal just to get the money in there, and then the business is always good to set up as well. But you want to, because if you have a lot of money, then open up both of them, put money in both of them, let it season, and then move the money around, or just put money in all of them, right? The whole point of this is to move the money, not to have to put new money, but use the same money you have and just recycle it. So you will put it in a personal account, let it season for a month, take the money out, and then be able to transfer that money, a portion of it or all of it. I will usually take a portion. If you put, let's say, like 9,000-10,000, you can put take out 4, take that 4, add it to another credit union, let that sit there, and then basically move that money again after the statement period. So what happens is a statement date that every bank has, right? So the statement date is on the usually the middle or the end of the month, somewhere in between. You find out what that statement date is based on your actual statement from the bank or from the credit union. Whatever that statement is, you want to take the money out after that date. So if that date is on the 24th, you take it out on the 26th or 27th, let's say. Take that money out, put it in the other credit union that's going to report on the usually either on the same day or the day before. You'll have that same date, get it into the other accounts, so that way you have 2 credit unions reporting more money than you actually have.
Yeah, I like that. And the only thing you got to do is probably pay ATM fees. You can only pull like $500 out of an ATM nowadays, or $1,000.
There's I think there's a limit of like 3,000.
So you just kind of keep moving the money around, though.
Yeah, your goal is to recycle your money, right? So you want to recycle your money. Money is only as good as what it gets you, which is what you use it for, right? So if you're using it to get you access to more money, you need to show the banks that you do have this money. You're kind of flaunting it in front of them. You're saying, hey, I got this money.
Yeah.
Here's the money. It's in your account. And now I'm giving you my money. So can you guys give me some credit?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
well, that's how it works, right? Fractionalized spending or fractionalized banking, right? This is how banks work. They force you to give you their money, and then they give you they're giving your own money back plus interest, basically,
Yeah.
right? So, and that's what you want them to do. You do want them to do that. You say, hey, you know what? I'm giving you $5,000. Can you give me 10 or 15, right? And
Right.
if you're showing them 5, they're gonna look at the account. Yeah, we can give this guy fractionalized spending based on the laws. We can give him $10,000 credit line with interest, right?
Yeah.
And they'll give you introductory rate, let's say. So you actually could get the cards with zero interest, double your money essentially by using the banks. And in this case, credit unions, you put the money in there, let it season for the month. Right when the statement date hits, go there, take the money out, go put that money in another credit union. Let that money season there until that statement hits, take the money out, put it back into that original one. So usually it's good to do 2 at a time because you can go back and forth. But if you do 3, you need to have a little bit more money to play with. So that way you don't have to, you never want to take the money out before the statement day, basically. So if the money is in one credit union, you can't take that money out until the statement day hits, because if you do, it's going to show up that you took the money out.
Yeah. How do you think
Yeah.
you figure out the statement date? You just ask, or you look at your bill
No,
on there?
it says that whenever you get your first statement from that time on, you know which date it is.
Okay.
It's not going
That
to
makes
change.
sense. Yeah.
It's going to be the same date every month. So
And
you know which date, like let's say PenFed is going to be at, or a Lion is going to be at. The Lion's on the 15th. Oh, okay. Now I know I got to wait till the 15th before I take the money out. So then I wait till the 15th. I go on, let's say the 16th. You look online, make sure the statement there is there. Boom, statement is there. I'm good. I go get the money out. Let's go to PenFed. Boom, I drop into PenFed. Oh, statement then on PenFed is the end of the month. Let's say the 23rd.
Yeah.
So you have from the 15th to the 23rd, as long as you can get that money into another account, you now use your money twice in 2 different banks or 2 different credit unions. And now that those banks are reflecting the same amount of balance, even though the money is only in one of them.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like that.
you can go back and take that money back, and you do have to put it back for the next statement day. So you need to do this for like 3 months usually, until you can until the money is seasoned essentially in the account. Obviously the banks see that you're taking the money out, putting it back in, but it doesn't matter because the money comes back in and you're always depositing money. So it's not like you're taking, and then whenever you do request to actually go get a loan or a credit card or whatever, you need to have the money in that credit union. Okay.
Yeah.
You cannot apply for anything until you put the money back in.
That makes sense. And then, I think you should have a personal and a business account with these then, because you want to try and get a business credit card, right?
Well, it's just, again, it's a matter of how liquid you are, right? If
Right.
you don't have credit, or if you don't have like a loan to use, let's say if you got a personal loan with us, let's say we get you a personal loan, you can use that money from the personal loan and make that money work for you, right? You got to put that money to work, and then you move it around, and eventually you pay back the personal loan. So you're only paying a personal loan while you're just using this money to move it around. There's a lot of options like that. If you have money already, you can definitely open up a business as well. Run the same play for the personal and the business, doing the same thing, doing the business side. Some people just say, oh, I'm going to do business. That's fine. But the thing is, the business still, has to be seasoned, meaning the credit on the business might not be good. Your personal credit has to be strong. Or on the other case, if your personal credit is not strong, you want to build the business profile as far as statements only. And you build up the statements only, and then you go out and go get a loan. Instead of a credit line, you go straight loan, right? You go, hey, I want to get a business loan because I'm showing this like 6 months worth of bank statements. They'll give you a loan if you have money in the bank based on how much money you're putting in every month. They'll give you a loan just on statements. So those are called statement loans, and they're stated. There's also the concept of like stated income, which is based on like stated income on either your taxes, or you can also state income on your bank statement. So let's say I want to get a loan. I have stated income, and all my income goes to my business wise. All my money goes into my checking account. well, I want to show you guys how much money I'm making. Here's the last 6 months of my bank statements. I want to apply for a loan. That's all they were going to require. Those are statement loans. And it makes it really easy to get those kind of loans because they're not the best loans because they do have higher interest usually, and they don't necessarily have zero interest. If you want the zero interest stuff, you gotta go credit, right? So the only way you can go credit is you have to have both your personal profile, pretty strong, pretty decent, and then you start building your business profile, your business account by moving money around in the business and season. Use the money, pay it off. Use the money, pay it off. And then eventually, or you go and apply for business lines of credit, and that requires your personal credit and your bank statements. So now you have bank statements for 6 months, you have your personal credit solidified, boom, you put those together, you say, hey, I want to apply for a business line of credit, and then they can get you a business line of credit at that point. And that's all business. So that's the cool thing about business loans and business lines of credit or credit cards. Those three things do not report to your personal credit. Usually, like credit unions, especially. I've never seen a credit union report on the business side to the personal.
That's powerful then. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's just talk like her or like the best banking structure. We want to pretend like it's the best, right? You got to have one big bank account with one main bank. Out of like the funding that you've been doing, do you know which banks have been actually like the most lenient with giving money out right now? I know Chase has been shutting everybody down usually. Not everybody, but a lot of people ain't getting shit from Chase. Maybe they're not the best.
Right.
Wells Fargo has always been kind of garbage, but I mean, they were good to me for a little while, but they don't have a business credit card anymore. So it's like, why would I even do a business with them?
Yeah, they don't have business credit card. Wells Fargo, I mean, they're decent. They're not the best. They've given out some loans, like some credit cards. Like I know they gave clients like 6,000, 7,000, but the ones that have been the biggest bank that has been the most lenient has been, I would say, Bank of America.
That's cool.
Yeah, Bank of America is the one that we thought, that wasn't giving out money. It was actually giving out more money. Of course, American Express, always a great bank, but it's not a major bank. The major
Yeah, but
banks
they're not like a bank that we can go and put money in and take out. They're online,
so
right?
yeah, exactly. The only bank that you're gonna actually go in and use, like deposit and take out money, is gonna be like, for example, like I would go with Bank of America. Then the secondary would be Wells Fargo, and then the third would be Chase. I hate to say it, but yeah, Chase has been kind of very
tightening it up. Yeah,
very, very much.
And then
Citibank.
Citibank's been pretty tight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Citibank has not been lenient at all. They've been really tight. They're not giving out the bag as they used to, basically. But Chase, used to give out good lines of credit, or credit cards now, but now they're being more tight because of the credit history, first of all, and also if your business hasn't been around, they're not going to give you anything.
So we had
new business, unless you're coming in as a new business and you have good, strong credit, personal credit, they'll probably give you a business credit card, but you have to have a strong personal credit. They're basically very tight on the personal side.
Yeah. So hypothetically, from the data, get a big bank account with Bank of America, then open up 2 credit unions that are down here. You want to keep almost all your money or most of your money in the Bank of America, and then you want to move the money to these credit unions, right? We're saying $5,000 to $10,000 because that's easier to move than a lot more. But if you can do a lot more, it's okay, right?
Yeah.
And the goal would be to basically build your credit, your history with the smaller credit unions, get the bag from one of them, right? And make that look really good. Take the money out of there, put it in the other one as well, let that season. And you take all the money, you put it in Bank of America, and then you probably go big for the big credit lines or loans from Bank of America. And that would be like a full trifecta play for funding is what I'm thinking. I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah. So. And the thing is, I've done, more, like moving money from my personal to business. I've gotten lines of credit and loans from credit unions without having any money in their account. Now, mind you, the reason you can do that is because you have to have a strong personal credit. If you have a strong personal credit and you have money in other accounts, the credit unions may not necessarily see the money, Well, they do see the money. If they really want to, they can probably see the money if they really want to, because the banking accounts, they do have a system where they are able to see, so, funds and accounts basically. But the main thing is the credit cards. Like if you have lines of credit with a bank, like Bank of America or like Chase, they see in how much you use those cards. So people that have credit that don't use credit are more likely to get credit. People that
Yeah.
have that have credit, that use credit, that ask for more credit are not going to get credit. So it's
Yeah.
like you have to have that where you need you get the credit, but you don't use it, or if you do use it, make sure you pay it off, and then before you go and ask for more money. So you never
Yeah.
want to go and ask for more money until you actually pay off your original debt. Now the major bank is the reason that you mentioned the main bank is good, because the national banks, those banks will give you a bigger bag technically than the credit unions if you treat them right, right? If you give them enough
Yeah.
money in the bank, you build a relationship with them, they'll give you a business line of credit, or they'll give you like a business loan as well, like Bank of America could. Those are obviously, you have to have a relationship, you have to have a certain amount of money in the account, and then they'll be able to make you, a private client, basically, what Chase
Yeah.
does. But the credit unions, they're more lenient when it comes to giving out credit cards
Yeah.
and
They're like a
everything.
relationship,
Yeah, and you don't have to put as much money in to do that. That the reason you want to put more money in the major bank is because because they're a bigger bank. So it's like, you flying around $5, they're not gonna do anything, or $10. You gotta bring like a bag, like you gotta be like 10, 15, 20, 30,000. And like, oh, okay, this guy has something that we can, work with. And then when
Yeah.
they see, 100,000 in your account, they're gonna give you, at least, 10, 20, $30,000 credit cards.
Yeah. That's cool.
Um,
I think
that's
that's
the
the play,
play.
man. That's
Yeah,
fire.
that's the place. So you move the money from one, if you get a major bank, you put the money in there, let it report, take some of the money out, move it to your credit union, let the money stay there, let it report. Right after the reporting date, which is statement date, you pull the money out, put it in the other credit union, let it report. Right after that statement date, you pull the money back in, you put it back either into the major bank, which is the Bank of America or Chase or Wells Fargo, or you put it back into the credit union. And I will do that because that's better, because the reason is you want to always have most of your money in the major bank, and then take a little bit out, put it into the credit union, and move those back and forth, and then eventually you put it back into the major bank, and then go get the bag from the major bank, and then come back down and get the credit unions.
And then there's other plays with Navy Federal Credit Union where you open up a savings account, you put the money in there, and then you can actually get what's called a pledge loan on the money you have in your savings account. And you can either pay that off like really fast, and that will build a good relationship. And then you can go apply for a credit card with them, and you'll almost always get approved because you proved that you can fucking pay something back from them. So it's like you put the money in the savings, you get a pledge loan, and a pledge loan is basically just saying, hey, can I get a loan on the money that I currently have in my savings, right? And then you pay that off like 90% of it right away. And then you make the other like 10% very slowly. Now you have a relationship with Navy Federal. Navy Federal will basically, you go and apply for a credit card after that. They're going to be like, oh, look, he already got a loan. He paid it back all the way. This guy's cool. Here's a $50,000 credit card or whatever, $2,500, whatever it is. Yeah. So that's another play that people can do. But yeah, I just wanted to nail that down. Again, some of these credit unions, they've got weird rules. And also you're going to want to look for credit unions in your local area, right? I mean, what's that one website that we
I think there's
use?
one more you can, yeah, is a US Alliance is another credit union.
Yeah, we should put that in there. And there's a couple other ones, but you can go to US Bank Nation and you can just look up your location or whatever. Payson, AZ. And there's all these weird ass banks I've never heard, like Zion. Like I've never heard of these fucking people.
Zion, I like that.
Zion fucking Bank Corporation. Not even with a K. It's bank with a C. Anyways, these look kind of crazy, sketchy. So people be sending me messages too much, man. Just trying to. And then they got PNC. So the ones that I'm going to go for, PNC. I'm probably going to go to Washington Federal, and those are going to be my two. There's another one. No, I think and there's like a Key Bank as well. That's another one that I have in my area. So I don't have a US bank, so I'm just going to go with Chase, right? So Chase is my main big bank where I put all the money, and then these are going to be the two credit unions that I go for, and I'm just going to move the money around between them. Before I go to either of these credit unions, though, I'm literally going to like go in there because it's a local bank and be like, hey, why should I bank with you? I want to bring my business here. Do you guys have business credit cards? Do you have personal credit cards? You know, what's the big benefit of banking with a company like yours? You know, and you can do that kind of stuff. That's literally what those bankers get paid to do, is answer your stupid questions. So go in there, build a relationship with them. And you never know, you might actually build a relationship with one of the bankers that'll get you approved for a fat loan once they see that the money's coming in and stuff. So,
Yep, exactly.
yeah, relationships are still a thing in this modern digital shenanigans age. You have any other tips or anything else you can think of about credit unions?
No, I think, main thing is just, treat them like your local banks that you can, you can use maybe on a day-to-day basis type thing. And and treat them well in a sense where pay their loans off, because they are going to give you a better terms and rate and term, like they always talk about in lending. You get the best rates and terms with credit unions. So, and if you ever needed to buy a car, or wanted to buy a house, like for yourself, for example, or the business potentially, I would say you go and you ask for a loan ahead of time, pre-approval for a car, pre-approval for a loan for a
Oh,
house.
cool.
And then you can go take that and then go buy your house or a car. And that way you already have your loan ready to go. You have a rate in terms of what you're gonna have for that, let's say up to 40,000, 50,000, whatever amount your car is worth. And you don't have to, when you go to the bank, you tell them, or the dealer, you tell them, hey, I want to buy this car cash. And they say, what do you mean? Like, oh, look, I'm already pre-approved, basically. So,
Yeah.
and that was they'll fund the deal. And then, it's basically cash,
Yeah, you don't have to negotiate as much
you
with
have
the
to I
salespeople.
want to buy this car. I want to buy this car. What can you guys give me?
I'm already approved.
I already have pre-approvals.
Yeah.
And they're able to give you they give you a price, and you decide whether you want to pay that price or not for the
Yeah.
car. You just negotiate with them, and that's it. And at that point, if you do put any down payment, it's not going to be like a down payment like a lease. It's a down payment on the car, and you don't need to put a down payment for them. You would be literally paying down the car and the loan in order to put your loan to cover that difference. If it's like over your amount that you're pre-approved, you'll just have to pay the down payment what the car is worth.
Oh, wow. See, that's a super ninja. And then you can go to these little credit unions and ask if they can pre-approve you for a mortgage and see what you can get. That's a good way to do it.
Yep, you'll get a better mortgage rate if you're able to get pre-approved. And then usually they're obviously going to do a full doc, most likely, which is they'll check your income, your bank statements, and all that stuff. Mostly W-2s and your tax returns, and then they'll pre-approve you based on that. So
Wow, that's fire.
yeah, you don't have to use another lender. You can go to a credit union. You don't have to use a Chase or Bank of America. Definitely, you don't have to use a major bank or a third party lender. Just go, if you really want the best rates and terms, go to a credit union. They're going to give you the best rates and terms for yourself.
All right. I think that's it for the credit union video. We'll make some more graphics and stuff like this. I hope this gave people clarity. Let us know if you have any questions. Talk to you soon.